Welcome everyone to MedSquare, and I'm very pleased today to be able to welcome Jose Maria Guido Avila. I do apologise, my pronunciation is still terrible. But welcome.
Problem.
It's really great to meet you, and thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. So let's just kick off with maybe a little bit of background about yourself, where you're from, where you live now, how you've ended up there.
Yes, thank you for inviting me, by the way. And you can always call me Chema. This is how my friends know me.
Okay.
I am originally from Mexico. I arrived to Germany, which is where I live now, 8 years ago, and I have ever since been living here, enjoying the benefits of living in Europe and traveling around here. And I've been very happy to stay in Germany for these past 8 years. And I came from Novartis. I was a product manager back in the day for Gilenya. Mm-hmm. And I arrived to Boehringer Ingelheim as to take my first global position in 2013 it was a global market research for oncology, global market research manager for oncology.
Yeah. And that's where you're working now, is that right?
No, I moved a lot after that, because after becoming a global market research manager for oncology in BI, then I moved as a global product manager to launch one of the brands that they had for colorectal cancer. Mm-hmm. And then I moved as a digital manager. Actually, when I became a digital manager, that was the journey that I started that brought me here today, because right. I wanted to change. Back in the day, I wanted to change, to become the typical pharma marketeer, to really become a more customer-centric, digital-savvy marketer. Right. Yeah. So I became digital manager in BI. Then I left BI and I joined Sanofi, and which is where I am right now. And I am working as a global global HCP marketing lead. Right. For the consumer healthcare division.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you. So how would you describe yourself if you had to pick sort of 3 or 4 words to describe yourself, or maybe if your friends were going to describe you in 3 or 4 words, what would they be?
Well, I would say creative. I normally like to create things. The more you give me things to create and to brainstorm, my brain is gonna explode. It's always, I have always enjoyed coming up with new ideas. Yeah. The other thing, it's I learn by doing. I'm a person who is not. If you give me the theory and you will lose me. I will probably be bored. But if you give me things to get done and learn in the process, this is something that I always get. And the other one, I would say, it's people-centric. I love to spend time. I need time with people, even if it's digitally, but I really need time to exchange, to talk, to share my ideas, to hear ideas from others. It's a need that I have to really have this human contact. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do when you're not working?
Lots of things. Well, first of all, I play with my kids a lot. I love to spend time with them on the afternoons and playing with them, riding the bicycle, things like that. Mm-hmm. On an individual base, I paint. I like to paint superheroes, comic books and manga, Japanese manga. I actually have my Instagram account where I post all my painting.
I have to take a look at that.
Yeah, sure. I'll send you the details. And I also have on my free time also, I have a YouTube channel, which is the place where I actually drop all my ideas. Yeah. And I create explainer videos that I post in YouTube about customer experience, customer engagement, and things like that. So,
yeah. So that's that creativity coming out again in both of those, isn't it? Yeah. And how do you get the balance between your work life and your personal life? Because it sounds as though you've got a lot going on in both.
Yeah, it's I think it's always about the getting the level of. I normally get the energy from interacting with others. I can be super tired, but if I connect with someone who is giving me this energy too, I normally absorb it and then I go back. For example, my kids, I could be completely exhausted from a day work,
Yeah,
and my kids come storming the room and then they give me that energy.
yeah,
Um, and I think that's the problem. But I found it challenging after COVID-19, I have to say, because
yeah,
um, when I used to go to the office, you separate it very well. So you go to the office, you have your time there, and you come back, and then you're at home, and that's a completely different environment. And now being here, just that you have the access to the computer, it's difficult to separate them. It has become really blurred line
yeah.
between private and personal and professional.
Yeah, and I was going to ask how you manage your need for people during the COVID crisis when you couldn't maybe go to the office or you couldn't go out with friends or.
It's been very difficult actually because I normally the only contact I have is with my wife and my kids, and
Mhm.
probably the only so somehow the contact with my family through WhatsApp.
Mhm.
We speak even more often, even if it's not face to face, but at least just to have, like, I don't know, 10 minutes every day. I spend at least 10 minutes every day speaking with a family member from Mexico. If it's with my dad or my mom or my cousins or my nephews, my sisters, it's or my friends here in Germany too. It's
Mhm.
I have to do that.
Yeah, we've had to just substitute online for face to face. I guess that's how it is. So, are you looking forward to getting back to seeing people in real life again?
Oh yes, I had the chance to go to the office on Monday, uh, and it was amazing. I would never. I would never say this before, because before COVID, it was the typical commute to go to the office and the traffic, and then, oh my gosh, people in the elevator, blah blah. But now I really enjoyed it because I
Yeah.
was, and actually I had a very aha moment in the office, because we were sitting with social distancing. We were sitting in the room, in a meeting room, but and we were all connected to Zoom, and I was looking at Zoom in the room, and I was like, why am I looking at Zoom? I mean, I have the people in front of me. So I lifted my eyes to see the people, to see the rest of the room, and I felt my muscles like expanding, like relaxing, because and I
Yeah.
realized that I had them like this, looking at the screen all the time.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I
Yeah.
loved.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people are looking forward to getting back to the office.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So just thinking about more about work, what do you think are the current challenges facing your industry and where things are going?
Uh, I think the biggest challenge right now, it's about so there are three things. The first
Mhm.
one is getting rid of the perfection mindset and become really more experimenting, having a more experimenting culture. This is something very difficult to change, and that has been sticking with us for forever. There people are always like improving and wanting to do more, and then they're so slow to roll things out until they're perfect. And then doing this on a continuous basis is going to be a challenge, and it's
Mhm.
and it's actually critical to be able to adapt to the next to the next normal. I don't want to say normal again, but it's
Yeah, I know what you mean.
such a buzzword
Yeah.
now. But the other one is the other challenge I see is to also in the experimentation, to really go into a identifying, so becoming customer centric now, for me, it actually means, for doctors, means being capable of measuring the digital fatigue that we're causing in the doctors, and being able to forget about our own ideas, because I think that as a pharma industry, we normally tend to do like a pharma comfort zone. In the
Mhm.
past, it was our comfort zone was to send armies of sales reps to repeat the messages to the doctors. Now the comfort zone is in meetings and webinars, and this comfort zone is difficult to get rid of. And I don't think that we are even capable of measuring digital fatigue of the doctors, because when I see the webinars and when I speak with other peers in the industry, they only talk about the pharma digital engagements, medical congresses, webinars, emailings, but they don't account for the rest of the content that the doctors are being exposed to, like Netflix or, WhatsApp, Zoom, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. So it's tricky. And I think it's one of the biggest challenge that we have as well.
Yeah. Thank you. It's interesting. And you're going to be speaking at the 10th GCE Summit shortly. So what topic have you chosen to speak on there, and why did you choose it?
It's actually about digital fatigue. So trying to measure the digital fatigue of the doctors, and also connecting it with what I think is the key to help us address these needs, which is improving in customer experience. But for me, we should start at the top. In other industries, they already have customer CX officers. And in the pharma industry, I am not aware of any customer experience officer at this point. So this is my proposal, that we should start getting a position like that, so that from the top, this culture of customer experience obsessed, it's cascaded into the organization.
Yeah. So how would you describe your sort of take-home message from your session?
The take-home message is don't be obsessed with doing webinars and bringing as many doctors as possible to your webinar, but rather think about how can you develop a strategic position in your organization that can drive customer centricity and help you achieve the best customer experience for your HCPs.
That's great. Thank you very much for your time. It's been great to meet you, and we look forward to your session.
Thank you. Me too. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Yeah. Take care.
Bye.
Okay.